How powerful were medieval queens and regents? Imagine a time when women were expected to stay in the background, yet some managed to shape kingdoms and influence history. That's what we're exploring today. How much influence did medieval queens and regents really have? Well, their power varied a lot depending on the situation and the time period. When a king was too young to rule, a queen or a noble woman often stepped in as regent. These women held real authority, making important decisions about war, peace, and alliances. For example, Eleanor of Aquitaine governed England while her husband was away fighting or ill. She managed internal affairs and supported her son's ambitions, showing she could run a kingdom effectively. Blanche of Castile was another example. She ruled France as regent for her son Louis IX. She handled political challenges and defended the kingdom from enemies. These women proved they could govern with strength and skill. Sometimes, queens ruled on their own as queens regnant. This was less common because inheritance laws usually favored sons. Queen Tamar of Georgia was a rare exception. She expanded her kingdom and was called the King of Kings because of her power. Margaret I of Denmark united Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, ruling across 3 kingdoms with diplomacy and cleverness. A queen's influence often depended on her family ties and political alliances. Queens from royal families could use their connections to boost their authority and influence foreign affairs. Queens from less noble backgrounds faced more hurdles because they lacked strong support. Even in a society where men held most of the formal power, some queens and regents found ways to shape history. They had to balance societal expectations with the demands of ruling. Their power was often fragile and depended on support from nobles, clergy, and military leaders. Challenges from rivals could threaten their position at any moment. Overall, medieval queens and regents could be very powerful, especially when acting as guardians for young kings or ruling as queens regnant. They influenced governance, diplomacy, military decisions, and succession. Their actions left a mark on medieval European history, showing that women could be formidable leaders despite the social norms of their time.